Morning, good evening, good day, good special day, good holy day. Oh, yes, well, every day is a holy day, but good holy day. Already it's a holy day here.
For you, yes.
With the disappearance of Śrīla Raghunāth Bhaṭṭa-Kṛṣṇadās, Raghunath Das Goswāmī, and Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī. So today is a holy day. And Radha Sundari Devidasi is in a holy place. Kumkum Devidasi is in a holy place. Praneshwari Devidasi is in a holy place. So we are all in holy places. And don't tell me Praneshwari Devidasi, but behind you, don't tell me. Not 100% sure. Do you know the exact location?
No, Maharaj. I don't know the exact location, but this was in the last parikrama in Navadip.
And it looks like new steps or remade steps. Yeah. I can guess where it is, but I cannot say for sure where it is because things do change. And where I think it is may not be. So no need for me to say, but it's a holy river, probably the Ganges, and not impossible that it's Swarup Ganj, but probably more likely the Ganges somewhere.
They were waiting there for the boat, but don't know the exact place.
Then Swarup Ganj, I think. If they're waiting for the boat,
yeah.
Anyhow, it is the holy Dham, this we know. All right, let me look now instead of the holy picture, where you are, let us see. Oh, joined us is Udaran Prabhu, joined us from Latvia, Seva Rupa Devidasi, joined us from South Africa, and Bhagavan Prabhu joined us from, and Bhagavan, where are you?
Venezuela.
In Venezuela, not in Venezuela. Yes.
Yes.
In Venezuela. Nitai Gaura Haribol. Sadhu, looking like Sadhu. Very good.
I cannot feel like I don't look like Sadhu. I'm following the sadhus, Madam. I'm hearing from the sadhus. That's more important thing.
We are trying to do exactly that. Yes, to follow the sadhus. And Seva Rupa Devidasi with Tilak, also Seva Rupa, very good. Early in the morning with Tilak. And for her it is 4 a.m. Also for Udaran is 5 a.m. And Radha Sundari, it is 7:30 a.m. Going to be time for breaking fast, I believe. So just see. Oh, already. After 5:38, early sunrise, it seems. And Radha Sundari, are you in Mayapur? Yes. Okay, maybe a little busy. 7:30. Oh, with the fan spinning. Dandavat.
Yeah,
okay, all is good. Maybe we'll get a peep of Mayapur Dham's cover at least from your camera, and we'll be happy to hear some inner story, inner view of Navadip Dham from your experience, if you wish to share something presently. Who's sitting in a car? It must be Jayadev Prabhu. His home and his vehicle. Like Kurma, we can remember Krishna's incarnation as Kurma. His home on his back. Hare Krishna. Okay, so welcome to all. And oh, we're getting a look at the electric box in India, in Mayapur. Oh, bicycles, motorcycles, and we're Tulasi Devi right outside the house. This is Mayapur 2021. This is Mayapur 17th of October 2021. My goodness, I'm still so surprised to see a town has literally grown up around the temple. Just see. There you go.
In less than 10 years, Maharaj, 8 years.
Since this has begun.
Yes, all these buildings sprouted in the last 8 years. Before that, there were none.
Jai, wow. Let us, now we're going to get engrossed in Mayapur, Navadip. All right, more buildings there too. Well, it's not only happening, it has happened. Purchased lots of land and lots of buildings. And I heard from different devotees that there's a very sweet mood in Mayapur. That by now everybody understands we are one family of devotees. Ultimately, means we are aspiring for that service to Mahaprabhu Nityananda. And so accommodating not only in buildings, but accommodating the whole variety and family of the Gauriya Vaishnavas in Mayapur. All right, so we've come together. We are in Mayapur, as well as other places around the world. So without further ado, oh, we're 7 minutes in. Just see, but we were early, but now 7 minutes have passed. Let us give our obeisances, our warm welcome and obeisances to all of the devotees here. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha, vipasindubhya, evacha patitanam pavanebhyo, vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And indeed, Shri Navadip Dham ki jai, and Shri Antardeep ki jai, Mayapur ki jai. And Shri Iskon Chandradoy Mandir ki jai, just visible behind the house. Oh, we saw just now, no. Go to the right, it's behind this building. We saw just now, for a glimpse. The Chandradoy Mandir, which was opened and declared open with Srila Guru Maharaj's lotus feet coming into the Chandradoy Mandir. Srila Prabhupada saying, with Guru Maharaj's arrival in the temple, no formalities are needed. The temple is now open. Hare Krishna. So Jai Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswāmī Maharaj ki jai. And Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswāmī Maharaj ki jai. And nearby, means a bit of a walk down the road, is the Sri Chaitanya Mat, the principal temple of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Gauriya Mat mission around India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, but extended India, what was all India, and around the world, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai. And Sri Rupa Nubu Guru Vaga ki jai, all the present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Hari.
So let me change my view to the gallery so I can see. Paramananda Prabhu arrived, and the top of Priyanana's head. I can't see whose head it is. Who's the top of the head?
Ajitasha.
Ajitasha, happy to see you singing loudly in the morning kirtan this morning.
Jai Gurudev.
But don't be shy. Instead of us just seeing the top of your head, you can come nearer the camera if you like. I mean, really, we are
Waiting
happy.
for Priyananda also, just leaving some space for him.
Saying that Priyananda's head is coming soon.
Oh, her head is also coming soon. Okay, plenty of room for all humble heads in the picture. All right, and I saw Paramananda Prabhu giving class this morning and singing, very good, in Gupta Govardhan, but I haven't heard the class as yet. And, oh, well, he's a very fit person to say something about today, in fact, because today is a special day in most of the world, and in a distant corner of the world, it'll be tomorrow. That American section of the world, it'll be tomorrow, but today is the it's the disappearance day of Śrīla Raghunāth Dās Goswāmī, Raghunath Bhaṭṭa-Kṛṣṇadās, and Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī. And they disappeared different days, different years, but the same day. And I think for many of us, when we hear of today, our mind, because it can travel very fast, it immediately goes to the join between Radhakund and Shyamakund. They're just up from the bank a little bit up is the Teen Samadhi, which is called the Teen Samadhi, which is whether it is actually Pushpa Samadhi with actual Pushpa or anything inside the Samadhi, but it is a Samadhi, at least we can say, for the worship and remembrance of these three souls, these three Parshads of the Lord who passed away on this day in different years. And it's a sweet, small Samadhi, and it's very near many temples, and it's very near the very first temple that we come to when we come to do the parikrama of Govardhan and that area of Radhakund and Shyamakund. The first temple means the temple we come to first. It may not be the first temple that we pass by left and right, but we very first come to the temple where Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi is, and that's Radha Gopinath, I believe, are the deities in the temple. And we come and take Raghunath Das Goswami's permission to come to do parikrama of Radhakund and Shyamakund and those special places. So nearby there, Raghunath Das Goswami's Samadhi, actual Samadhi there, then we just go to around slightly the Radhakund, and then there's a mysterious hole in the wall which we disappear through. And we disappear through that hole in the wall, and we walk up some narrow steps, going up to the steps, and there's Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Bhajan Kutia, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Bhajan Kutia, and then there is the sweet Teen Samadhi of Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, and Krishnadas, Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī. And then nearby there is Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami's Bhajan Kutia, where he would stay when he was in Radhakund side, Govardhan side. And near there is Raghunath. This is all very near, I mean, very near. Moments walking. How many paces? Okay, I won't count the number of paces, but very, very, very close. All of these are within a few paces of each other. Then there's Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kutia, and beside that, Vishwanath Chakravarti's Bhajan Kutia. Hare Krishna, and here's Priyananda Devi Dasi, who knows all these places from repeated pilgrimages and who has photographed them with the help of our friends or collected photographs together, and she's going to be helping us on our parikrama of Govardhan and Vrindavan coming soon. we'll settle that. Actually, probably after an hour, we'll know exactly which day it will begin. Hare Krishna. All right. So, dear devotees, here we are gathered together. We've got our family. We're 15 minutes in now, my goodness. And I had some other things selected, but I think that really it is our opportunity to glorify these three devotees, at least say a few words. And I do invite to Paramananda Prabhu, because Paramananda Prabhu, he's already prepared, I know, because we've seen him by mystic power of this, not Zoom, but Instagram, on the Sri Gupta Govardhan Instagram. There we can join the morning program every day.
Well, Maharaj, we were just warming up, getting in the mood, and then Bhakti said, oh, it's time to stop.
Well, now's the time to continue.
Now's the time to continue. Maharaj, so first of all, I don't think I'm fit of anything, but again, Vaishnava is asking our duties to give a try to glorify such a great personalities. And whatever we heard from Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Gurudev. Really, they're the most substantial representatives of our Guru Varga in many ways. And today is Gopal Bhatta, Raghunāth Bhatta, Raghunāth Das, and Krishna's Kavirāj Goswāmī. Maharaj, what should I say? Starting from...
Well, we are on back to basics, so we would like some basics.
Okay,
not too high, but everybody here, we all have some basics, we think. Help
Maharaj,
us keep our basics.
Don't worry about the high subject. A low person cannot touch those subjects, so you're pretty safe there. Anyhow, so Raghunāth Bhatta Goswāmī, actually, I mean, one of my favorite characters, even though we don't know that much about him, but we know how much Mahaprabhu loved him. So he was the son of Tapan Mishra, and Tapan Mishra's wife, which I don't remember the name, and maybe it was not revealed, but no doubt she was a very dear devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Nimai Pandit, when he was still a Nimai Pandit, he visited Tapan Mishra. So some revelation came to Tapan Mishra that this divine personality is visiting Varanasi, and he will answer your questions, because he couldn't connect theory and practice. How to put devotional life to practice, how to put all that theory from the Shastras into practice. So he was praying, and then some divine voice said, oh, Nimai Pandit is here, he will fulfill your desires, he will explain to you what is the essence of devotional service. So this is how they meet first time, and of course, Nimai Pandit nourishes Tapan Mishra fully, and then after that he leaves again, and he takes sannyas, and then one day he is visiting Varanasi, and Tapan Mishra is bathing, and then he hears ecstatic chanting of the holy name, and then he just follows that chanting, and he sees this wonderful, undescribable divine personality on the bank of the Ganges, who is performing Nam Sankirtan, and then he recognizes, oh, that's Nimai Pandit. I heard he took sannyas, must be him. And we have to remember that Nimai Pandit, he revealed his identity as Supreme Personality of Godhead to Tapan Mishra. It was known to Tapan Mishra even before, but he asked him, please, do not disclose it to anyone for your own good sake. Or he did not say what's going to happen, but he humbly requested, and Tapan Mishra was very happy to follow that. So he invited him to his home. That meeting happened, and later on, when he is leaving Vrindavan, he is passing through Varanasi, where he meets with Sanatana Goswāmī, and he gives Sanatana Shiksha. And also, he is staying in Tapan Mishra's house, and that's where Raghunāth Bhatta Goswāmī is mentioned for the first time as a small child that Mahaprabhu cuddled on his laps. Let's think about the fortune. So the parents of Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, they're taking care of Mahaprabhu. He's staying in their house. And the little Raghunath had this chance to serve the Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. And really, he was on the level of Mahaprabhu's lotus feet because he was really small, maybe 5 years old, 4 years old. So he's always there at the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. And a heartbreaking story when Mahaprabhu is leaving their house, is going back to Puri. Of course, everyone is heartbroken. But who is the most heartbroken and who is actually taking some action is Raghunath Bhatta. He's just holding to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. And maybe Mahaprabhu been dragging him for a while because he wouldn't let it go and praying and crying, please don't go, please don't go, please don't go. And then Mahaprabhu affectionately lifts him from the ground and said, oh, Raghunath, do not be worried. You will meet with me very soon. Till that moment, you serve your father, you serve your mother nicely. And then one day will come and we will meet again in Puri. And that happens, that comes true. That he comes, he was sent by his parents to see Mahaprabhu. He is a young man then. And then the meeting is also very beautiful. It is also described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And Raghunath Bhatta Goswami is very perplexed why Mahaprabhu is so happy to see him. I'm just a low person. Why is he so happy, smiling and laughing? And then Mahaprabhu is answering, oh, how can I forget that affection of the Tapal Mishra's house? His wife's, and yours, Raghunath. I remember every single moment. And then Raghunath's heart is melted and Mahaprabhu embraces him again. And then later on, he stays with Mahaprabhu for some months. It is said that he stayed for 8 months with Mahaprabhu in his company, in company of his associates. And then Mahaprabhu is sending him back. And he says that, and he doesn't want to leave. He says, I want to stay forever. But Mahaprabhu is saying, you go, you take care of your elderly parents. When that is done, then promise me, you will help me in Vrindavan. There is some seva that I cannot do, but you can assist me in that seva. So please, when that is finished, your responsibilities are finished in front of your parents. You go to Vrindavan and you serve under the guidance of Rupa and Sanatan. They will tell you what to do. And that also happens. And then he requests him. He said, but not to get married, he said. Do not get married. Don't get entangled in the family life. So just go straight to Vrindavan and be with the Goswamis, be with my devotees there. So, and that happens. He goes to Vrindavan. And we know that he captures the heart of all the Vaishnavas by his sweet recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he was a very learned person, learned in scriptures, but also had this very unique voice, which is compared by Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami with a cuckoo bird, a kokil bird. Kokil can sing in many different variations of rag, melodies. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was reciting different shlokas of the scriptures, using different meter, different rag, and it captured the heart. And it's not just recitation, like tongue-deep recitation. No, it was coming deeply from his heart, which was melted with love to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And all the devotees are very happy. And then, even though he is very humble, he is not seeking any prominent position. He is there, nourishing everybody. Another quality of his, he rejected to hear any kind of criticism. He didn't want to hear even the slightest criticism towards the Vaishnavas. So for that, he kept a certain distance, let's just say. But even though he is in that kind of humble position, he is recognized by the greatest people of that time. And we hear that one of his prominent disciples was Maharaja Man Singh, the king of Rajasthan, king of Jaipur, actually, not Rajasthan, Jaipur. At that time, he was the topmost general on the right hand of the Akbar Hussain Shah, who was the ruler of that area, who was a Muslim, but somehow, and we mentioned today, not like his son, he had so much affection and respect for Sikhs Goswamis that he continuously supported them. He also supported the temples of Krishna, various temples of Krishna in Brajadan. So Man Singh, he is approaching Raghunath Bhatta and asking, what can I do? I mean, you know my capacity. I'm Man Singh. I'm the king of Jaipur. So ask anything. And Raghunath Bhatta is saying, I don't need anything. And whatever I need, I already got from Mahaprabhu. I got from Rupa Sanatan and other devotees. That's all I need. I'm very happy. But then some inspiration comes and says, but you can do one thing, and that will be a direct service to Rupa Goswami and to his beloved deity of Govinda. So please construct the temple for Govindaji. And then, as we know, Mansingh does it with the help of Akbar, who supplies all the sandstone, pink sandstone for that temple. And it becomes the greatest temple of Vrindavan at that time. 6 stories tall, on top of the hill. It's seen from anywhere in Brajadam, practically, in that immediate area of Vrindavan. But we know that later on his son, Akbar's son, Aurangzeb, he takes down 4 stories. The temple is desecrated. And where did the deity go? They go to Jaipur, taking shelter there as other deities as well. So Raghunath Bhatt Goswami was that kind of person. And most of them, they ask, please do not write about us, do not mention us, especially they ask Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami not to do that. That's why we don't know that much about them, about their biography, but what is the most important is their teachings, their life of teaching, examples, life examples. How did they live? How happy Mahaprabhu was with their service? What kind of instructions they were giving? So that is the most important. And Maharaj, if we start about Raghunath Das Goswami, we had a extra long morning class, and really, it was just a scratching the surface. I don't know if I should start saying anything, but maybe you say something, because really Raghunath Das Goswami is the whole huge subject, our Prayojanacharya. What did he give us? We cannot say, because he gave us everything. From him we got everything. From Rupa and Sanatan we got everything. From Gopal, from Jiva we got everything. Actually, each of them gave us everything we need. But there's a whole chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita on Raghunath Das Goswami about his sweet dealings and the whole drama about him escaping the home comfort, a so-called home comfort of his home, the Govardhan's villa, we can say, because they were Majumdars, they were very wealthy people, the most wealthy people in Bengal after Nawab Hussain Shah. That was their position, princely position. So seeing that renunciation, renounced mood of Raghunath Das, mother got so worried. He's the only son. Think about it. The whole wealth, the properties, wealth, the prestige, it must go to the son. And it's a son, it's not a daughter. How precious he is. And he's the only child of both. Hiranya, he didn't have children, apparently. Only Govardhan had. So the Hiranya is the brother, the uncle. So they want to keep him. They want him to continue the dynasty, but they are, in the same time, they're observing extreme renunciation, complete disinterest in anything mundane. So mother coming lamenting and speaking to Govardhan, the father, the husband, saying, how can we chain him? How can we make sure that he stays here forever? And then father is laughing with some irony in his voice. He's saying, chain him? What kind of chains are you going to use? What do you think? What kind of chain can hold him? We use the strongest chains in the whole material creation to try to chain him to this home, which is money, riches, wealth, and the most beautiful woman we could find in the whole country. And still, he is absolutely disinterested. If those chains cannot hold him, then what are you talking about? You can appoint 1,000 guards, they will not hold him in place. One day, and at that time, Govardhan, he is accepting his fate. He says one day he will go to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu. And he tried, Mahaprabhu sent him back, and the famous instruction of Mahaprabhu, you go back and you behave like they're expecting you to see. They want you to be the next generation of Hiranya and Govardhan. They want you to run the family business, to behave according to the society expectations. So Mahaprabhu said, surprisingly, we can say, you be that person externally, but internally you pray to Krishna that one day you will be delivered, and that deliverance will come. And then we know Nityananda, he comes with his parshads. And we know what happens. I don't have to tell that story in details. So he gets a special mercy of Nityananda by serving his devotees, because he's also asking, how can I serve? And Nityananda calling him a thief. You were trying to go to Mahaprabhu without my consent to that? You're a thief. You were thinking you're going to steal just like that in front of my nose? So he's rebuking Raghunath Das. And Raghunath Das, there's some humor in his words, Nityananda's words. And Raghunath Das understanding that he's submitting to the lotus feet of Nityananda and asking, how can I serve? And he doesn't say, well, you can serve my devotees and then I will be happy. And there's a big entourage, the parshads of Nityananda, the devotees from Bengal, and it's happening in Panihati, we know the story. Many comes, and then Raghunath Das Goswami gets the mercy of Nityananda, his blessings, and that's when it's happened. When Raghava Pandit, not Raghava Pandit, was Raghava Pandit Maharaj, who comes and says, I think so. He says that, now you got what you've been praying for. Because remember, Nityananda was supposed to go to Raghava Pandit's house, but somehow Raghunath, he stole the seva of lunch. So Raghava Pandit, he arranged for dinner for Nityananda and his followers. And then later on, Yadunandana Acharya comes saying, I'm going home. So I'm going maybe visiting his birthplace or some other business for a few days. I need a priest to continue my duties. Then he says, you, Raghunath, can you go to this particular person and ask him to do those duties? And let me show you where he lives. And then they live together with the guru. So the guards, they're not thinking anything. They're thinking, no, he's going with the guru. Why do we have to follow some guru business? And he's behaving now. They're not thinking he's going to run away. But Raghunath Das Goswami, he is ready. And then halfway, he's saying, oh, Yadunandana Acharya, you don't have to walk that far. I know where the person lives. You go back home. I shall deliver your request. Then he goes there. He finishes that business. He completes the promise to his guru. And then immediately, it is said, without a second, a moment of hesitation, he leaves for Puri. He runs, not just walks. He runs. And Guru Maharaj points out, takes 12 days to walk normally, under normal circumstances, to Puri. Raghunath Das Goswami makes it in 3 days. How amazing it is. And it is also mentioned that he's in such a state of exhaustion that Mahaprabhu asking Govinda to nourish him back to life. So Govinda giving him some Mahaprasad, taking care of him. So after a few days, he's back to the previous state. And then we hear how father sends the money, sends the servant, rents the place for him to stay, and he's staying in that place, and he uses money to feed the devotees, invite Mahaprabhu for the feast, but then he's sensing Mahaprabhu is unhappy. He is not satisfied with this kind of service. He's using money, the riches of his family, staying in a nice house, being served by the servant, not appropriate. So he leaves that all. He goes to Simhadwar and he starts begging, like many beggars there. And I was just remembering this morning, Simhadwar is where we always go, and that's where we start our parikrama around Jagannath temple. Maharaj knows that place very well. And I was mentioning how I go there and I look at the beggars, because really, till recent, till so-called, I don't know, COVID time, there are always some beggars there. They're begging for food, and priests are giving some Mahaprasad. And I'm always correcting myself not to think about them, anything bad, or look down upon them. Because Raghunath Das Goswami was standing here. He was begging for food, maybe looking just like them. Who knows? I have no capacity to see who those people are. So he's doing that, and then at some point he's thinking, oh, that person is approaching. Oh, maybe he's going to give me something. Oh, that noble lady is coming. Maybe she's going to give me some donation. And then he's catching himself thinking that way. He's thinking, oh, it is horrible. What am I thinking of? What kind of mentality is that? That's certainly not going to satisfy Mahaprabhu. And then he leaves even that. He leaves begging. Then he goes, and Maharaj, remember where the kitchen is.
Sure.
So if you face Simhadwar, you turn left, you keep walking, that's where they throw all the leftovers. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the horse gate. Maybe I'm mistaken. Anyhow, they all have names, as you know.
I'm not sure the name of the gate.
Yeah. Anyhow, but there's lots of leftovers, and then Raghunath Das Goswami, he picks the leftovers that are kind of rotten. It is said that even the cows wouldn't take it. The dogs wouldn't eat it. The birds would avoid it. But Raghunāth Goswāmī, he takes that, he washes away the rotten part of the rice and whatever left in the middle, he is taking that, he is accepting that as his daily sustenance. And then Mahaprabhu, he is not receiving invitation. He is asking Swarup Damodar, what happened with Raghunath? He is not inviting me anymore. No feasts happening. And Raghunath, Swarup Damodar, he is saying, this is what's going on. And by the way, I forgot to mention that Mahaprabhu places Raghunāth Das Goswāmī under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswāmī. So he's becoming known as Swarupera Raghu, since there are several Raghunaths and Raghus. So he's known as Swarup's Raghu. And then Mahaprabhu goes there and he sees Raghunāth Das Goswāmī about to take his lunch, and a palmful of that washed rotten rice, whatever left of it, the middle part of it. Then he just grabs a handful and puts in his mouth, and then he says, how wonderful, how sweet is that prasad? You're having feast every day, and I'm not invited. What kind of behavior is that, Raghunath? So Mahaprabhu happily, lovingly chastising his servant and wanting more, but Swarup Damodar Goswāmī is stopping him. So, oh, please, Prabhu, no, it's not appropriate for you. But Mahaprabhu is so happy with the mood of Raghunāth Das Goswāmī. So Maharaj, from here, I will pass the microphone to you. So you can continue glorifying Raghunāth Das Goswāmī and then Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī.
Well, Raghunath Das Goswāmī, as you said, from the very beginning all the way through, then Raghunath Das Goswāmī's life is extraordinary. And so extraordinary that Guru Maharaj expressed that a human cannot do what he did. And in his Vairagya, in his vows, it says that his vows were like the markings in stone. They cannot be changed. When he's made the decision to do something, it cannot be changed. And you see, he's never again thinking about the opulence of being a prince, never again thinking about anything. And when he goes from accepting, first of all, accepting what his parents would send, some funds, which he would use for feeding Mahaprabhu, and then step by step showing increasing renunciation on the food side of things too. He never went the other way again and then kind of think, oh, okay, I've been renounced for a while, so now I'm going to enjoy, or any hint of that. So his vows were as though etched rather into rock, into stone. And Raghunath Das Goswāmī, when we go to Puri, he's got also a bhajan place there, a place where it's understood he did bhajan, and where he would stay when he was in Puri, and it is close to where is now Haridas Thakur's Samadhi, right opposite when you come out there to the little bit of a busy road with the marketplace on, cross straight over, and then up there, along that road we've got various holy places, which is again very close to our temple in Puri. It's very close to so many holy places, which includes Tota Gopinath and the Gupta Govardhan of Puri, etc. But Raghunath Das, he was inseparable from Mahaprabhu. And when also another point, when he went to Puri, he didn't go in a straight line also. He didn't go in a direct way. He went the opposite way, went all the way around, so that the soldiers and servants of his father couldn't catch him. If he went along the main way, then they'd know where he's gone. So they have horses, they have fast horses. They didn't have Lamborghinis and Ferraris, but they had fast horses. And this way he would avoid being caught. So it took him 3 days in a long way to go around. And once he was with Mahaprabhu, he was inseparable from Mahaprabhu. And then when Mahaprabhu passed away, then Raghunath Das Goswāmī, he's just feeling that, okay, whatever use was of this body, that's already been done. Now there's no point to go on living. So all this while, he'd not gone on pilgrimage to Vrindavan, Govardhan, etc. And he once wanted to go and have darshan of Vrindavan, and specifically Govardhan Hill. And in that respect too, Mahaprabhu gave to him a Govardhan Shila, gave to him this Govardhan-Śrīla, small Govardhan-Śrīla too, but that was so dear to Mahaprabhu himself, and he gave that to Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami, then he, after the disappearance of Mahaprabhu, went to Vrindavan. There he met Rupa and Sanatan, and he had the original idea to go to Vrindavan, have darshan of Rupa and Sanatan, have darshan of Vrindavan, and specifically Govardhan Hill, and then leave his body. Like now, like my whatever use of this body, finished. Now what can we do? But when he went there, then a very clear, brilliant example for us. Somebody of that nature of Raghunath Das Goswami, purest of the pure souls, but finding, oh, Mahaprabhu is still here. He's here in Rupa and Sanatan in particular. That in the Vaishnavas, the sincere, the real Vaishnavas, then we've got the presence of the Lord still with us. And this is a big lesson for us all too. How in the Vaishnavas we're going to get the living connection with Mahaprabhu. We're going to find that we're not alone in this world, in the sense of that Mahaprabhu, the Lord, and Krishna himself, they are present in the hearts, especially of the devotees, the devotee section. So with new life going to Govardhan, as it were, or renewed life again, then Raghunath Das Goswami, then he went on to write so many compositions and giving us the prayojan, the very goal of the goal of the goal, giving us the whole epitome of devotional life. And when he went there, he's also asking for service. Don't forget that service, this is what everybody is hoping to have, a connection of service. And the Goswamis there, they are considering what service will Raghunath Das do here. And then they consider that Mahaprabhu has given him Govardhan Hill. He has a place at Govardhan Hill. And there was the necessity to glorify and to reveal Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. So in particular, Radha Kund and Shyama Kund, that seva came to Raghunath Das Goswami. But we also hear that substantially helped by Jiva Goswami, because Raghunath Das Goswami, he was so aloof to the material world that he may not have been the best person to manage the workers, etc., for what needed to be done. But Raghunath Das Goswami, that seva he had there at Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. And the shape of Shyama Kund, in particular, we see it is a very irregular shape. And this also came through Raghunath Das Goswami. So he may not have been the most practical for some of the, like the managing of some things and the signing of deeds, signing of land deeds and stuff. And we are told that even until today, it's Jiva Goswami's signature that is on some of those land deeds, which cover the rice fields that were there, the property which is externally in the world, visible then as rice fields and now as Shyama Kund and Radha Kund. And it is to Raghunath Das Goswami that we first come when we come to Radha Kund and Shyama Kund. We don't just come straight away and come straight to the kunds. We have to have access to the kunds through those who are the guardians of Govardhan Hill, the guardians of Radha Kund and Shyama Kund, those who can give us entrance. Without the Vaishnavas, we can't actually get any entrance. And so we are coming as pilgrims very carefully with all steps and all mood. And how to come carefully is to first and always be under the shelter of Raghunath Das Goswami in those high areas. Anyhow, Raghunath Das Goswami's disappearance day today, and also very closely connected with this, the line of Raghunath Das Goswami, of course, is Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami. And I think you've all heard his name, Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami. We hear the names of these very high books and compositions by Raghunath Das Goswami, by Rupa Goswami, by the six Goswamis. But Srila Gurudev repeatedly, Srila Gurudev also, but actually I was thinking of Srila Guru Maharaj is saying how the Chaitanya Charitamrita is the highest book ever to see the light of day. Then when we hear, oh, but there are these other books which we don't read because they're out of our pay grade, whatever our expression is. But there are these other high books which are like so high. How is it that the Chaitanya Charitamrita has been described by Guru Maharaj in this way? And that is that the Chaitanya Charitamrita is giving everything that is being given in these other high books. Everything means the substance of what is being given in all of these other high books, and is being given to us, as Guru Maharaj said, very carefully, so the reader cannot misunderstand. And so this way, the highest things have been given here. And again, there is no need for us. And not only no need for us, it is dangerous to think we are going to go and read some other of these fine books which he quotes from, that we'll go and read those separately, that we will make our own inquiry and research in those departments. Because Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī has given everything. When everything is being given, then where's the question of everything plus? It is all included there. And again, how we know any of this and how we will keep our head in the proper place, it's through the guidance of Guru, it's through the guidance of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev and Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada's commentaries, purports in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everywhere, they're all giving us this guidance. And how that they're coming, because he's presenting Mahaprabhu's message coming through Srila Saraswati Thakur, and he's learned this message and he's imbibed the whole mood of this message from Guru Maharaj. And this way, Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, they are giving out Srila Saraswati Thakur's message. In this way, Gurudev is giving out Srila Saraswati Thakur's message. The clean, spotless medium by which we can understand. And not only medium to carry, but also Guru Maharaj gives the example of the telescope. Not only that, oh, it's a medium we can see through, but by each of the parampara we are getting some closer view of a distant object, of the object, actually subject in this case. But like the lenses of a telescope are put one after another. So Śrīla Raghunāth Das Goswāmī's presentation of the very high things, all there are presented, that substance of that within Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and presented for us, presented for the public, but the faithful public from the very beginning. Then he's telling that this is for the faithful persons. I don't want other people to read this book. Go away, you go and read Macbeth or something else. Use your brain. Well, he of course doesn't say Macbeth, but Srila Krishnadas Kavirāj, he's making very clear, this book is for the devotees. Come, devotees, and relish this. So Srila Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī and then has his bhajan kutir also very close to these holiest places of the Sangam, the connection of Radhakund and Shyamakund. And don't forget, they are living in the actual conception of Radhakund and Shyamakund and the Sangam. The Sangam means the place where they join, and considered to be the highest place in the universe. By the way, just in case anyone was thinking anywhere was higher. But anyhow, all of these things, when we visit, and I make a general when we visit, then we are being reminded of them and their Leela by seeing the places where they stayed, which is the cover of the Dham, but they are living in the Dham. Guru Maharaj living in the Dham, Gurudev living in the Dham, and they are bit by bit giving us some clues, some description, some understanding of what are these places and what is the land of Seva. what is the plain and the land of Seva. And Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj Goswāmī gave not only Chaitanya Charitamrita, he gave other books too, and he gave songs. Jaya Radha Madhava, oh no, Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna, Jaya Vrindavan. This song from Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj Goswāmī.
Govinda Lilamritam.
Govinda Lilamritam and other books I can't immediately say off the top of my head. And not only that other books and songs, but also from Chaitanya Charitamrita. My happiest bhajan of any of all time, which is that whole section, that section of Chaitanya Charitamrita about Mahaprabhu's appearance. Because there is where we've been with and seen Guru Maharaj singing and dancing in the assembly, and all the assembly singing and dancing. We've been with Gurudev year by year, singing and dancing in that assembly. And really, even on a mundane level, what can we say? Because our feelings, we know they are mundane. We've got all indication of this. But I mean, so wonderfully, indescribably joyful that the appearance of Mahaprabhu, the description given by Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī, there we are singing this, engaging in that grand kirtan, under the guidance, by the wish of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And this is seva. We should be engaging our life in seva, doing what they wish us to do. And it doesn't just mean written instruction, do this, do this, do this, don't do that. But it is very much the wish instruction, the desire from above. So Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī has given these descriptions, the description of Mahaprabhu, of Nimai Sundar's appearance, and all the mood, what was taking place at that time, the appearance of the Lord, the Advaita Acharya, Sita Devi, and so many, Haridas Thakur, and I mean, just so many, the wonderful, wonderful description takes place there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita can be sung also, not limited to the reading process. And Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī, we must say that also somehow or another, as Gurudev was stunned to see and to reveal to us, you know, the intimacy and the rarity of such fortune. But the land at Śrīla Raghunāth, the land beside the Radha Damodar temple, which Gurudev said, this is Radha Damodar's property, and it is coming to us for seva. And with that property came Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj's temple, the principal temple that he established. And that is the temple of Sri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, the deity which now is safely, you can say, beside Radha Damodar, in the Radha Damodar temple. But the temple that Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj made was right beside the temple that Jiva Goswāmī established, the very center of Vrindavan. And that temple came in disrepair, but it came into the seva, the service of Gurudev. So Gurudev came into his service, this land of Radha Damodar and the temple of Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj Goswāmī's Vrindavan Chandra. And now there and in service, we can serve in different ways. And one way was restoring that temple. The temple part is fully original, but some restoration, means cleaning up, etc., was put there in that part. And then the part which was completely nothing there, it was rubble. Rubble means just broken down nothing, basically, was in front of it. And so one of the seva of Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj was making nicely a guest house there and a memorial building, Śrīla Raghunāth Kavirāj memorial building. So not just for guest house, means for the pilgrims to come, with some rooms, 2 rooms downstairs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, anyway, about 6 rooms upstairs of different sizes, maybe more. And a big open area, which is where most of most of us get to stay when we stay in the Krishnadas Kavirāj building. We're in the open area, and a few good souls who either need privacy or the VIPs, and we've got rooms for them there too. But anyhow, that Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī building came today, and in fact is today also the day of the opening of the Krishnadas Kavirāj building. It is, yes. Today is actually, huh?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, it is. It is in 2005. So not
2005.
Yeah, 3rd of November 2005. I have here the link, and there has that painting of Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī is worshipped there in that temple until today. And a devotee painted that, gave that painting to, painted herself and gave the painting to Gurudev. And Gurudev is thinking, why has this come to me? That lady, she could have painted anything. I mean, she could have painted Radha, Krishna, Govardhan Hill, anything. I mean, so many things, but she chose to paint Krishnadas Kavirāj and give this painting, nicely framed, everything, gave that painting to Srila Gurudev. And Gurudev said, I'm thinking, why Krishnadas Kavirāj has come to me this way? And then when this property came, when this land came, then Gurudev, he kind of always sees things behind, behind everything he sees, what's happening behind. And then bit by bit, and then Gurudev saying, yes, it's for the worship of Srila Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswāmī. So very closely connected, everything's very closely connected, all these high topics with connected with Guru Maharaj, with Gurudev, with Srila Saraswati Thakur, with our parampara, which is coming down officially, of course, through Rupa Goswami, but the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan all have got their most substantial contribution, but Mahaprabhu is giving us Rupa Nuga Sampradaya. And you see, Raghunath Das Goswami, he went to Rupa and Sanatana in Vrindavan, and in them he found Mahaprabhu. So it is all very high subject matters, and Guru Maharaj always cautions us, and Gurudev always cautions us. We must be very careful dealing with who's higher, who's lower, and somebody is more of a devotee or more special. It's out of our pay grade. We must hear about these things from them, and there is never going to be allowed the slightest consideration. Or somebody is a lower devotee, so we're not giving attention to them in that realm. They're all parshads of the Lord, and everything is the topmost. They are all the topmost worshipable devotees. But still, there is the relationships and the participation of Seva and so many things. The variety of Krishna Leela, the variety of Mahaprabhu's Leela, the variety is there everywhere. And Guru Maharaj cautions us always, we must be very careful in discussing these matters and pray to them all that they will not take our offense in our attempt to give glorification to each of the devotees. And like today, on special days, we'll give some focus to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami. And Śrīla Krishna, just one more thing. Śrīla Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami's Samadhi, because it's his disappearance day today, it is right there also, right beside our temple. A few meters. How many meters? 8 meters. Is it from our boundary wall? I do not know. Very, not even that. I mean, it is a few meters. It's not, yes, we've got to go for a mini parikrama to find it. It's right there. And so Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami's, his Samadhi is right there, right beside Jiva Goswami's Samadhi, right there at the Radha Damodara temple. Very close. It's just the opposite side from the temple. of Radha Damodar, of Rupa Goswami's Bhajan Kutir and Samadhi. So very intense, and literally just over the wall from our temple. And Gurudev, in all his humility, considering our temple is rather part of Radha Damodar's temple and property. He's not looking with a limited view. He's seeing what is the substantial view. Yes, and as Paramananda was saying at the beginning, we can actually say, happily continue and say more things, but briefly, we've tried to give something of these three great personalities today. It's a very auspicious day today, and it is the day chosen by Gurudev for the opening of the Kṛṣṇadās Kavirāj Memorial Building. Let us indeed always be in memory and respectful memory of each of these great souls today.
Just a few points, Maharaj, I wanted to make, considering Raghunath Das Goswami. He is the Prayojana Tattva Acharya. There is nothing more higher than that. It's the highest we can, I mean, it's inconceivable. We cannot conceive. I mean, I cannot conceive about it. It's inconceivable how high it is. So what are the main teachings of them that we hear from our Guru Varga? The famous verse, Namashishtam Manumati Sachiputra Atra Swarupam Rupam Sagrajatam Urupurim Madhurim Goshtavadim Radhakundam Girivaram Aho Radhika Madhovasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurun Tam Namosmi. He is saying that whatever come to me, the Lotus Feet Mahaprabhu, the holy name, the company of Rupa and Sanatan, the Gurus, it's all came to me by the grace of the Guru. It's all coming from them, from the Vaishnava. The Radhakund, the Govardhan, the chance to reside at the lotus feet of the foothills of Govardhan, that came to me by the grace of my Guru. And what else came? The hope. He is not saying the service. He's saying the hope that one day I can serve the divine couple under the guidance of my spiritual masters, my guardians. That hope is also came by the grace of the Guru. And there is another extreme. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he is also known as ultimate Radha Dasya Acharya. But he is also expressing something to the extreme, the devotion to the lotus feet of the Vaishnava, and how without their shelter, such place as Govardhan feels and looks like a python ready to devour him. And the Radhakund, the holy of the holiest, there is nothing holy than that, is like a jaws of the tiger, ready to attack him. Without the shelter, and he is composing that verse in separation from Rupa and Sanatan. That kind of expression, how wonderful is that? Without their grace, nothing is possible. We think that we can get something independently. No, it will be, it's not just we're going to get anything. It will be the end of us if we try to do that. Hence the logo of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. The water, the lotus, the sun, everyone knows the meaning. It was probably one of the first back to basics programs explaining that. Anyhow, so pointing in that direction. And also, how does Raghunath Das Goswami sees all those high places? It's not that they're proprietors. They're seeing themselves as the servitors. And more than that, they're aspiring servitors. This is their vision. That's why he's praying to Govardhan Hill. Nirupadi Karunena Sri Sachinandanena Tvaika Patisatopi Tat Priyena Arpitosmi. Iti Kalu Mama Yogi Yogyatam Tvamagrinam Nijja Nikatanivasam Dehi Govardhanatam. He's saying that Mahaprabhu, your Sachinandan, who is unconditionally merciful, have given me to you. So accept me as I am. Do not judge me. Maybe I'm qualified, maybe not. Please don't go into that kind of judgment. And just mercifully give me your shelter. So they're thinking, they're aspiring for that. They're not even considering himself to be the servitor. He's saying, Mahaprabhu, give me to you. So what can I do? I'm not qualified. You may think I'm not qualified. Maybe you think I'm somehow qualified. It doesn't matter. Accept me. I will do my best. So that kind of devotional expression coming from the lotus mount of Raghunath Das Goswami. So these are things to cherish and treasure and remember. And that is pointed out first of all, when we're talking about them by our Guru Varga, by Śrīla Guru Maharaj and Śrīla Gurudev.
Jai, very important points. Hare Krishna. There are several audios, different audios which are there from Guru Maharaj and Gurudev on the MAT website, scesmat.com, related to today. So let us try also to give some attention to see what is there, and numerous sections throughout the publication about Raghunath Das Goswami, few less about Raghunath and Bhaṭṭa-Kṛṣṇadās, and about Śrīla Kṛṣṇadās Kavirāj Goswami, about his appearance and about his brother and so many things. All there, Kṛṣṇadās Kavirāj telling himself at the early part of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, dear devotees, and now we can see Ajitasha, she's looking at us. Let's see. And also, as well as all of us who've come together here on the Zoom, then in Facebook also we have Divya Shakti, we have Gabrielle, and okay, the messages there, and messages and obeisances from each one. Nirupama Devi Dasi, Madhava Prabhu is with us, and maybe others, because I know somehow or another I only see some who are on Facebook. I think because I don't know about how to make people my friends, so we can only see someone's clicked to say that they're friends, and it's I don't have any touch there actually. All right, and all of you who are with us live, and there are lots of things to say. I do have some things that I had lined up, and happily always there's more to say than we have time to say it in. But from our hearts, let us to each other, with each other, continue happily in this beautiful vibration under the shelter. You can carve it in stone also, under the shelter of Śrīla Gurudev, Śrīla Guru Maharaj, Śrīla Prabhupada, under the shelter of Śrīla Saraswati Thakur. This is Chaitanya Sarasat Mat of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. And Praneshwari putting up a hand.
Yes, Maharaj. Gabriela is Gourangi. She's in Ecuador now.
Oh, okay. I'm wondering who is Gabriela. You're hiding your identity. Thank you, Gourangi. And you're in Ecuador, safe and sound. Okay.
And Dandavas from Braja Mohini and Purushottam Prabhu in Salt Lake City.
Okay. Thank you very much, because I have no clue that they're there, because I'm sorry if my Facebook isn't friends with yours. I'll chastise it, whatever it is. But Dandavad to you, and to Salt Lake City is very close family ashram, next door ashram too. We have next door ashrams all over the world. So we're very happy to be in your remembrance, and there, each place, wherever we are. My humble obeisances to the devotees, our humble obeisances to each other. May your day and days be successful, and we'll meet again very soon. Kum Didi, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, each of you, we didn't give any opportunity to say something, and I know you've all got things in your pockets, and Priyanana Devi Dansi, and I saw Tunga there somewhere, yes, and Dandavat to all of the team there. All of the team there in Gupta Govardhan Ashram. You start the day that we are all following later on. So your day is continuing. So to each of the devotees, to all of you, Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai.
Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Raghunath Bhatt, Raghunath Das, Krishnadas Kavirāj Goswami Tirobha Maha Mahotsav ki Jai.
And to all, I'll let you do the full jais. I'll let somebody do the full jais, but by heart. At the beginning, we gave the honor to clearly saying where we are, and at the end also, and with our obeisances to you all. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Ashchi.